This liquid soap you are seeing here, can you see how thick and how clean it is? Guys, this liquid soap foam very well, and I made this liquid soap using very few chemicals. Yes, very few. You can use this method and make a lot of gain if you are considering going into liquid soap business, or maybe you are already in the business and the price of chemical in the market is not making you to get discouraged. Don't be discouraged. Just make sure you watch this video to the end. So because I made this with very few chemicals and it foams very well, and at the same times it cleans very well. So the first chemical we are going to use for this production is our SLS, sodium lauryl sulfate. SLS in soap production is a foaming agent. It's just like foam booster and helps our foam to lather very well and clean very well. So for my SLS rice, I am going to measure the quantity needed for this production. Please make sure you get accurate quantity needed for your soap formulation so that you can get a very good outcome. So for this production, I measured 100 grams of SLS, 100 grams of SLS, and I came in into a clean bowl with 1.5 liters of water. I first poured 1 liter, then I came in with 500 ml to make it 1.5 liters. So this is the cup I use in measuring the water. If you are considering going into soap production, or you are a producer but you find it difficult to measure some of your liquid chemicals like water, like oil, you can get this cup at the plastic store so that it will be easy for you. So after that, I went ahead to pour my SLS rice into the water. Then I will stir it, set it aside, and continue with this production. Please make sure you watch this video to the end because something happened during this production, and I would like you to learn from it so that you will not make the same mistake. If today is your first time of coming across my channel, you are mostly welcome. Please do well to join this wonderful family by hitting the subscribe button and put on your notification bell so that whenever I upload new video, you get notified. And to all my returning subscribers, thank you so much. I sincerely appreciate you. So guys, the next chemical we are going to measure for this production is our soda ash. You can use as much as 100 gram, but I use 70 gram in this production because I am using more than one cleansing agent. Soda ash in this production is going to serve as our cleansing agent. So after measuring the 70 grams, I came in with 1 liter of water, that is 1000 ml, into this container. Then I poured my soda ash. I will stir it also the same way I did for my SLS, and I will set it aside. So to save you this stress, if you want to make your soap in the morning, you can dissolve some of your powdered chemicals at night. Then when you wake up, you continue. So what you see me measuring here is my STTP. STTP is also a cleansing agent. So tell me, how is this soap not going to cleanse very well? We have more than one cleansing agent already. So I measured 50 grams of STTP. 50 grams of STTP. Then the cup I showed you earlier, I went in with 1 liter of water there. Then I will pour my STTP into it and I will stir it. To all my returning subscribers, I appreciate you once more. Please do well to like this video and share with your loved ones. And if you have any question, feel free to ask. I promise to answer you. And to all my first timer, if you have not subscribed, please do well to hit that subscribe button and put on your notification bell. So the remaining powdered chemicals, we are not going to dissolve them yet. It is not yet time. So the next thing I want to dissolve now is my color. So the problem I told you I encountered happened here. So watch this place very well. Now I wanted to use orange color, but when I checked where I put my color, I discovered that I did not have orange color again. So what I have to do now is to mix my yellow and my pink color together to give me orange. However, the shade of orange I'm going to get depends on the shade of pink and yellow I mixed together. But when I added my pink color to the water, it does not dissolve in water. So what I want you to learn here is before you add your soap, before you add your color into any of your production, be it bar soap, be it liquid soap, be it air freshener, please always dissolve your color in water separately. Do not add your color directly to your soap. So can you see that the color is not mixing with water? So some of you will say, oh, I made my liquid soap, I added color, but when I wake up in the morning, the color has faded, the color is separating from the soap, the color is this, the color is... This might be one of your problem. But because you did not know, so I'm telling you now so that you can know. So learn from my own experience. And the reason why I always dissolve my color separately is I know there are colors that are called oil soluble color and there are water soluble colors. So I want to check if the yellow color will also dissolve in water. So as it stands now, the pink color is oil soluble color, which means it cannot dissolve in water. It can only dissolve in oil. So that color will be suitable for maybe if I want to make bar soap, then I'll first dissolve it in my oil. Can you see that when I added my yellow color to the water, immediately it's mixing with the water, which means it's a water soluble color. So if I use this in making my liquid soap, I won't have any problem. But if I go ahead to use that pink color, then there might be problem for me because it's not even mixing with water. So can you see it? It's still standing there. So it is not meant for liquid soap. So at this point, I had no option than to just use the yellow color. So let's go over and check our chemicals. Can you see my STTP? Then let me show you my SLS rice and you will see how clear it has become. Can you see it? Can you see my SLS rice? At interval, I was going there to stir it when I was doing other things. So the soda ash is still a little bit cloudy. So I'll wait for it to just clear a little bit more. Then I'll continue with other things. So what I want to measure now is my citric acid, and I'm going to use this as a preservative and as a binder for my soap. So I will measure citric acid and then dissolve it in about just 10 ml of water and set it aside. So I measure 5 grams of citric acid to be dissolved in 10 ml of water. Then after that, we will continue with our production. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I'll come in into my mixing bowl with 3 liters of water. Remember, we've used 3.5 liters of water before in dissolving our chemicals. So now I came in with 3 liters of water, making 6.5 liters of water. What you see here is my nitrosol, and I have 120 grams of nitrosol with me. Nitrosol is going to act as our base for this soap, and at the same time, it is going to act as the thickener for this soap. So you add your nitrosol to your water in the mixing bowl and you mix very well. Please, liquid soap require mixing so that you will not have separate settlements. The water will not be up while the chemical will be down. There should be no lump. Please make sure you mix it very well. So I went ahead to mix this for about 15 to 20 minutes, and after it was properly mixed, it will start to thicken up. Yes, in the process of mixing. So I went in with my soda ash. The first chemical I came in with was my soda ash. So in the process of mixing your nitrosol, it will start to thicken up. When you first start mixing, you'll be like, oh, will this thing work at all? If you get the original nitrosol, it should be getting thicker as you are mixing it. So can you feel the consistency, like how our soap is looking at from the container? Can you see it that this is not ordinary water again? It's looking thick already. So after mixing it for about 5 minutes, I went in with my SLS rice, which is our foaming agent. However, the time at which you add each chemical depends on how well you mix your soap. If you discover that the one you added has not mixed properly, do not add the next one. So I mixed for about 10 minutes. Can you see it? Can you see what it has become? Can you see how thick it is? So at a point, I had to like change my turning stick. I changed it to a wooden one so that I'll be able to mix my soap very well. So I was like shuffling between this one you are seeing and a wooden stick. So can you see it? I've not even added other chemicals to it. So can you see it, guys? So apart from the chemicals you've seen me use, there's still one other chemical we are still going to add to this production. So keep watching. So at this point, I had to change to the wooden turning stick so that I'll be able to like turn it very well. I don't want any lump. I don't want anything that can cause problem because this is extremely thick. So after mixing it well and it was too thick, I came in with 1.5 liters of water again, but I divided to the water into two and I was adding it at interval. So when I add, I mix. When I add, I mix till I finish the 1.5 liters of water. So if you calculate the total quantity of water used in this production, that is 8 liters, meaning we are making 8 liters of soap. So after mixing it very well and I was okay, I came in with my STTP. Can you see it? I hope you guys are following the way I'm adding these things. So I came in with my STTP. Then the next chemical I added was my sulfonic acid. Sulfonic and not sulfuric, please. Some people used to say sulfuric. There is difference between sulfuric and sulfonic. So at the point of adding my sulfonic acid, there was a glitch. So I didn't know my camera didn't pick it, but that was what I added next. So after adding sulfonic, I mix it very well. Can you see how thick it is? So I took some portion of my soap into another bowl. Then I will add my color into it. I will add my preservative and I'm going to add my fragrance. That's if you want to use fragrance, that's perfume. It is totally optional. So after adding it into a separate bowl, you mix it very well before adding it back to your production. Now, why do you have to do this? You have to mix this in a separate bowl so that the one you are mixing it with will weaken the power of both the color, the fragrance, and every other thing you want to add before you add it back to your liquid soap. Please do not add it directly. I will not advise you to do that. So this is me adding it back into my production, and after adding it back, you mix vigorously for like another 5 minutes. So that is what you see me doing. Please, if you have not liked this video, hit the like button. If you have not subscribed, kindly hit the subscribe button. So after mixing very well, the next thing you are supposed to do is to cover it and allow it to settle. So can you see after mixing, can you see how thick our liquid soap is? Can you see from the container? Can you see how thick it is? So just wait for the outcome. So this is just about after 3 hours of making the soap. It is not totally settled. I just want to show you. Can you see it? So, and this is after the soap has finally settled down. Can you see how clean and beautiful the soap is looking? I hope you are going to give this a trial. Can you see that with just few chemicals that I mentioned, we're able to make 8 liters of thick liquid soap? Not just thick, it cleanses so well. As in, it cleanses very well. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video to the end.